Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here at 3Tier, here to bring you a quick little channel update going over a number of things that are currently going on with the channel, but I'll do it in order in terms of relevance. So, first off, starting with the future of the 3Tier Versus series. I stated in my last match that in order for the series to continue into a Season 5, my last match would have to get a minimum of 4,000 views, which, had it done that, would have allowed it to elevate itself into becoming, I'd say, probably the most watched video, at least in the Versus series wise, for the entire year. And lo and behold, I ended up getting 5,000 views. So we not only hit our goal, we actually somewhat succeeded it just a little bit. So there will in fact be a Season 5 for the Versus series going into 2019. So for all of you that helped make that possible, you should give yourself a pat on the back, because there was no way I could have done that on my own, because I legitimately thought it was gonna fail. But it looks like Cloud and Zach and Sephiroth came to the series rescue. So, having said that, I did state also that I had two specific matches planned out. One that was going to be a series finale, and one that was going to be a season finale. Now, since the series will be continuing, the matchup that I would have done had the series failed was I was going to do a matchup that I stated 2 years ago was going to be impossible to do. But I stated that it was impossible to do it in the short amount of time that I give myself for these matchups. And that would have been the very first team matchup, or 2-on-2 matchup, between Dante and Virgil from Devil May Cry 3, taking on Inuyasha and Sesshomaru by the end of the show. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, that was going to be a nightmare. I have been working on the script for that matchup for the past 2 years. Researching Inuyasha and Sesshomaru has been a complete and utter disaster in terms of just how much information there is. There's no way I was going to cut out anything. So anything that they had done in all the seasons, even the most recent season, which kind of closed out everything, that had even more information. And this ultimately would have ended up being, in my opinion, the most hated video that I would have ever have worked on, because for those of you that don't know, as it stands today, my most popular matchup, which just so happens to be Cole McGrath versus Delsin, is a matchup that I personally hate, not because of the outcome or the response or even in the comment section, but just the editing. The editing for that matchup was completely insane, and this matchup, had I gone through with it, was going to be even more insane, which is why I've spent the last 2 years kind of working on the script. And this thing is even longer than any other matchup I've ever worked on. But it looks like I will be holding off on that matchup until I need it. So instead, coming up at the end of this month, I will actually be doing a very unique matchup which will allow me to challenge myself on an analytical level on a much grander scale. Because for the very first time in my Versus series, I will be comparing two armies, as the Helghast from Killzone will try to hold off a Chimera infection from Resistance. This is very, very different because it requires a completely new format of how I analyze these two groups of people, or technically two armies. And I actually saw a couple of different Versus series formats online from other YouTubers, which I won't mention in this particular video, and I think I'm going to take inspiration from them. And I'm not only going to use it for the next coming matchup, which should be uploaded by the end of this month, I might actually extend into using a different Versus format for Season 5. The problem is, I literally have no matchups planned for Season 5. So I can use this video as an invitation for any matchups that you guys would like to see. And because I'll be using a different format, I actually can be a lot more flexible. I can actually start using anime characters, I can start using movie characters, I can start using, say, Star Wars characters, or comic book characters. I think this new format allows me to be much more flexible, and I think that the goal is to use matches that I think are popular, because as the last matchup proved, when you start using popular characters, more people want to see them. So we're going to continue that into Season 5. So if you guys have any ideas for future matchups that you think would be extremely popular, that you know will bring in a lot of people, please be sure to share those ideas with me in the comments down below. So that is ostensibly where we are at in terms of Versus series. The Chimera versus Helghast matchup, that's coming up next. So now on to the next sort of update information. Now, in terms of my game streaming, I've run into a little bit of a complication. Now, for those of you who weren't here yesterday, because by the time I'm uploading this video, it would have been the day after I was supposed to be streaming the next game for my PlayStation 3. But for those of you who weren't here, I'm telling you, here's the problem with that. I just now discovered that my gaming PC actually does not have the CPU strong enough to handle first-person shooter games. It was a complete disaster yesterday. It looked like total garbage, and we were using the exact same settings that we were using for the last couple of streams that we've been doing over the past month and a half. So as it stands right now, I'm currently trying to save up to get a much more better CPU that I found. It's a pretty common one, but it should be able to handle it. It's just in terms of saving up. I mean, I would, prefer to try to get people to support on Patreon so I could use that money to get the equipment. But since I don't have any Patreon support, I mean, I designed a Patreon like a year ago, but I've had like surprisingly zero Patreons, and so I've had to kind of get all this equipment myself. And so I'm trying to do my best to save up to hopefully get the equipment that I need sometime early next month before the 7-year anniversary of the channel, because hopefully with me being able to do like better streams, it should be able to bring more people in, because a lot of people do like these streams. So today's stream, by the time I'm uploading this, isn't going to happen, but I think my Twitch streams will continue to happen, because I had a lot of fun with my last Twitch stream, and that is absolutely going to continue, because I'm going to be using that exclusively to play newer games. So if anyone wants me to play like Kingdom Hearts games or Resident Evil 2 Remake or, Devil May Cry 5, that's where I'm going to be playing it. So there's that. And as far as I know, that's really everything in terms of immediate updates. So that's pretty much everything you guys need to know in terms of the Versus series and what will be coming in 2019 Seasons 5 and how things are going to work, and in terms of how I intend to improve my streaming, because we will be definitely trying to be more focused into gaming content going into 2019, and I think that doing weekly streams is going to be a positive thing. So that is pretty much everything you need to know in terms of 3TR channel updates. Again, if you guys have any ideas for future matchups, or heck, if anything, if you guys have any ideas for future projects, or tell me, what are some type of videos that you guys would like to see next year? Because I'm telling you, you guys are the biggest influence. A lot of the best ideas that I've ever had on this channel did not come from me, they came from you. So please, share any ideas or any type of video topic ideas or any ways that you think that I can improve the channel. Be sure to share all those ideas with me in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to add them to the channel's new format coming next year when I start making all these major changes. So that's everything I need to share. So if you could please feel free to send a comment and more information, that would help. And be sure to also press one of the links in the description below so you could follow me on Twitter, friend me on Facebook, or heck, follow me on Twitch, which I'll be doing weekly streams, so you guys can hopefully get some exclusive information before a majority of the fan base finds out. And like always, again, I'd like to thank you guys for saving the Versus series. You're awesome, and I'll see you next time.